Hello everyone. Yes, welcome back to another of these. It's nice to have regular videos again to be able to do and not have to worry about other things, which is good. Huzzah. Yay. Today we're looking at Captain America Civil War. Yes, this is a film that came out in 2016. And as I said in the previous video, this film is very important in changing the MCU from this point up until Infinity War, because it sets up some of the character moments for that film. Yes, so this film came out in 2016. It came out in cinemas on May 6th, 2016. But the premiere was on April 12th, 2016. Directed by Anthony and Joe Russo. This is their second Marvel film. Their first one was Captain America the Winter Soldier, which I sadly don't own on DVD. Which is a shame, but yeah. That's a good film. Yes. But yeah, this is their second film of four, because they did this. They did Winter Soldier, this, and then the two Avengers films, the Infinity War and Endgame. Screenplay was by Christopher Marcus and Stephen McFeely. It's produced by the same person, as always. Won't mention him anymore. Starring, Chris Evans playing Captain America, this man here. You have Robert Downey Jr. playing this man here, Tony Stark, Iron Man. We've discussed him before. Scarlett Johansson as Black Widow, who is on the back of this. She's there. She's Black Widow, as I said. Sebastian Stan as Bucky Barnes. He is also the Winter Soldier, who has been turned good and was Captain America's old friend. Actually, before I carry on with the actors, I'll read the blurb for you. An explosive rift rocks the Marvel Cinematic Universe and the game-changing epic Captain America Civil War. When government pressure to rein in the Avengers drives a deep wedge between Captain America and Iron Man, best friends are turned into bitter enemies. Against a backdrop of divided loyalties, mysterious villains, and new allies, the ultimate battle for the future of the Avengers and all humanity erupts in this spectacular adventure. I mean, I wouldn't say all humanity, not much earth-shattering stuff happens, but yeah. Anyway, where did it get to? That's it. So, yeah, Anthony Mackie, he plays Falcon, who's first introduced in Winter Soldier, but he's in this a bit more. Actually, I'll tell you what team they're on, because there was Team Cap and Team Iron Man, and there was like a big thing on social media which was like, which team are you on? So, Black Widow was on Iron Man's team, but right at the end turns and goes to Cap's team. Sebastian Stan, Cap's team. Falcon, Team Cap. Don Cheadle plays War Machine, who is there. He is on Team Iron Man the whole time. Jeremy Renner, Hawkeye. He is on Cap's team. Chadwick Boseman, this is his first appearance as Black Panther. He is on Iron Man's team. Mainly because of something to do with Bucky that we'll get to. Paul Bettany as Vision, he is on Team Iron Man. And Wanda is on Team Cap, I think. Oh no, Wanda. Oh no, Wanda. No, yeah, Wanda is on Team Cap because Hawkeye frees her from the thing. Yes. Paul Rudd is Ant-Man. He's on Team Cap. Emily Van Camp, she plays Sharon Carter, who is the niece of Peggy, who is Captain America's lover from the 40s, who I will talk about when we get to the Captain America the First Avenger, which is his first film. Tom Holland's first film as Spider-Man, because this is setting up Homecoming. He is on Team Iron Man. Frank Grillo, he plays, what's his name? Crossbones, but I can't remember the character's name. But yeah, he's like the villain at the start of the thing before like he blows himself up. William Hurt, he returns from The Incredible Hulk, one of the only few characters from that Incredible Hulk film that turn up. He plays Thunderbolt Ross, and he's the one who tells them that the Avengers need to change their ways because they're getting a bit too reckless. And Daniel Bruhl is the villain of the film because he kind of is the one who he kind of has stuff that drives a bigger wedge towards the end of the film between these two characters, mainly because of Captain America's friendship and Iron Man's loyalty to humanity, that kind of stuff. I think that's everyone. I can't think of anybody else. Yes. The development of this began in late 2013. This is based on a very famous Marvel comic called Civil War, which was very different to this in the fact that that is the comic in which Spider-Man reveals his identity to the world because he says that we should all reveal our identity and as part of the government we can be protected even because and our families will be safe because we're allowing our identities to be shown. And I think in that Captain America dies. That's where, Cap gets shot and dies because of, I think Sharon Carter shoots him, but she's under the influence of Dr. Faustus, I think. But I'm not entirely sure with that, but yeah. Okay. Right, the plot. In 1991, the brainwashed super soldier James Bucky Barnes, Sebastian Stan, is dispatched from a Hydra base in Siberia to intercept an automobile carrying a case of super soldier serum. In the present day, approximately 1 year after Ultron is defeated by the Avengers and the nation of Sokovia, Steve Rogers, Natasha Romanoff, Sam Wilson, and Wanda stop Rock Rumler from stealing a biological weapon from a lab in Lagos. Rumler blows himself up, attempting to kill Rogers. Maximoff telekinetically diverts the explosion, accidentally destroying a nearby building and killing several Wakandan humanitarian workers in the process. So she kind of pushes him up, but she can't hold it, and so he explodes, like destroying a big building. Thaddeus Ross, the US Secretary of State, informs the Avengers that the UN is preparing to pass the Sokovia Accords, which is like a big document that's kind of like, it's a thing saying that's the thing that's saying, the Avengers should be put in check. Yeah. Which will establish a UN panel to oversee and control the team. So basically, they can't do what they want anymore, it's what the UN want them to do. Yeah. The Avengers are divided. Tony Stark supports oversight because of his role in Ultron's creation and Sokovia's devastation, and he feels guilty. And there's a woman who he talks to towards the beginning of the film near a lift who says, oh, thank you for being like this, but your recklessness killed my son, because her son was squished by a building in Sokovia because he was out there doing something because of Tony Stark, because Tony Stark had funded something for him to go to Sokovia and then he died. Yes. Well, Rogers has more faith in his own judgment than that of politicians. This is because of what happens in The Winter Soldier, where he finds out that S.H.I.E.L.D., the big government agency, were secretly run by Hydra. And so Captain America is very distrustful of any politician because of this. Fair enough. Meanwhile, Helmut Zemo, played by Daniel Bruhl, tracks down and kills Barnes' old Hydra handler, stealing a book containing the trigger words that activate Barnes' brainwashing. At a UN conference in Vienna, where the Accords are to be ratified, a bomb kills King T'Chaka of Wakanda, who is the dad of Black Panther. Security footage indicates the bomber is Barnes, whom T'Chaka's son T'Challa then vows to kill. Informed by Sharon Carter of Barnes' whereabouts and the authorities' intentions to kill him, Rogers decides to try to bring him in to bring in Barnes, his childhood friend and war comrade himself. Rogers and Wilson track Barnes to Bucharest and attempt to protect him from T'Challa and the authorities, but all four, including T'Challa, are apprehended by the Bucharest police and Rhodes, War Machine. Impersonating a psychiatrist sent to interview Barnes, Zemo recites the words to activate Barnes' brainwashing, which I can never remember. All I remember is that something says there's freight car, and then the ending is something wagon. Yeah. He questions Barnes and sends him on a rampage to recover his own escape. Rogers stops Barnes and sneaks him away. When Barnes regains his senses, he explains that Zemo is the real Vienna bomber and wanted the location of the Siberian Hydra base, where other brainwashed Winter soldiers are kept in cryogenic stasis. Unwilling to wait for authorization to apprehend Zemo, Rogers and Wilson go rogue and recruit Maximoff, Clint Barton and Scott Lang to their cause. With Ross's permission, Stark assembles a team composed of Romanoff, T'Challa, Rhodes, Vision, and Peter Parker to capture the Renegades. Peter Parker, Mr. Spider-Man, if you didn't know. Stark's team intercepts Rogers' group at Leipzig / Halle Airport, with the fight until Romanoff allows Rogers and Barnes to escape. As Roger and Barnes are escaping, Rhodes is inadvertently shot down by Vision and becomes partially paralysed. The rest of Rogers' team is captured and detained at the Raft prison, and Romanoff goes into exile. And she goes off to do Black Widow. That's where... So she goes off here, does Black Widow, and then meets Captain America somewhere, and then that leads into Infinity War. That's why they're together in that film. Stark discovers evidence that Barnes was framed by Zemo and convinces Wilson to give him Rogers' destination. Without informing Ross, Stark goes to the Siberian Hydra facility and strikes a truce with Rogers and Barnes, unaware that they were secretly followed by T'Challa. They find that the other super soldiers have been killed by Zemo, who then shows them footage that reveals that the automobile Barnes had intercepted in 1991, at the very beginning of the film, contained Stark's parents, whom Barnes subsequently killed. Enraged that Rogers kept this from him, because Rogers knew and didn't want to burden him with that thing because he wanted to protect his own friend, Stark turns on them both, leading to an intense fight. That's that bit in there's a lower area where they're punchy. In which Stark destroys Barnes' robotic arm and Rogers disables Stark's armour, he probably smashes his chest thingy. Rogers departs with Barnes, leaving his shield behind, signifying the end of the trilogy. Satisfied that he's avenged his family's death in Sokovia from the Avengers' actions by successfully fracturing them, which he did do, Zemo attempts suicide, but he is stopped by T'Challa and taken to the authorities. In the aftermath, Stark provides Rhodes with exoskeletal leg braces that allow him to walk again, while Rogers breaks his allies out of the raft. In the mid-credit scene, Barnes is granted asylum in Wakanda by T'Challa, and this is where, as I said before, that's why he's in there at the end of Black Panther, leading into Infinity War, because he's been there for a while. And he says he will choose to return to cryogenic sleep until a cure for his brainwashing can be found. And so the end of that bit of the credit scene is him being frozen. And then in the post-credit scene, Peter Parker explores the features of the web shooters built for him by Stark, which would lead to Spider-Man: Homecoming, which we will talk about. Right, yeah, Chris Evans, Robert Downey Jr., Scarlett Johansson, Sebastian Stan. Yeah, this was Tom Holland's original first film. Yeah, a teenager ally with Stark who receives bad luck ability after being bitten by a radioactive spider. Yeah, Daniel Brawl. Additionally, John Slattery and Kerry Condon reprised their roles as Howard Stark and the voice of Friday from previous films. Martin Freeman is in, as I said, Martin Freeman is in this film. And the character associated with Black Panther in the comics. Here we are. Freeman described Ross as someone who works for the American government and works in conjunction with the superheroes and certain agencies that help to tame the superheroes' power. Feige added that Ross would appear briefly in the film, with the intent being to expand on the character's role in future films. It's Black Panther. Marissa Tomei appears as May Parker, Peter Parker's aunt. John Canny appears as T'Chaka. Hope Davis as Tony Stark's mother. Gene Farber as a Hydra official. Damian Poitier, who appeared as Thanos in the Avengers before Josh Brolin was cast, appears as one of Crossbone's mercenaries. Oh, and also Stan Lee makes a cameo as a FedEx man right at the end. And he says, "Oh, Tony Stank," and then it makes War Machine laugh because he's like, yeah, this is Tony Stank. Give it to him. Yes. Yeah, it was a very good film. Yes, here we are. Apparently, Mark Ruffalo stated that his character was originally in the Civil War script, but was removed due to the end of Age of Ultron, as Marvel did not want to reveal where he is and why. Which is obviously Thor. Not Thor. Thor Ragnarok. I was right. And then also apparently Thunderbolt Ross was originally going to supposedly turn into Red Hulk, so presumably if Hulk was going to be included, that's where they'd be going. Presumably. The music. The music was done by the same person as Henry Jackman. Was the same person who did Winter Soldier, Henry Jackman. Not Hugh Jackman, not Shink, not that one. Henry Jackman. Yeah. And so, he's the one who he gave little themes for Spider-Man, Black Panther, and Zemo, and I think the themes for Spider-Man and Black Panther are kind of expanded upon a bit further in their own movies. Yes. Released, yes. Here we are. Premiered at the Dolby Theatre in Hollywood on April 12th, 2016. Was released home media. It was released on DVD on a certain day. Box office, here we are. Captain America Civil War grossed $408.1 million in the US and Canada and $745.2 million in other territories for a worldwide total of $1.153 billion. By May 10th, 2016, the film would gross $737.8 million, surpassing the entire theatrical gross of its predecessor, Captain America the Winter Soldier, which only earned $714.4 million. It became the highest grossing film of 2016, the fourth highest grossing superhero film of all time, and the third highest grossing film in the US and Canada of 2016 behind Rogue One and Finding Dory, because Finding Dory earned a lot. Deadline Hollywood calculated the net profit of the film to be $193.4 million, when factoring together everything. And as the film outsold all of previous Marvel Cinematic Universe films at the same point in the sales. Yeah, it did very well. It did. The review aggregator Rotten Tomatoes reported an approved rating of 90%, with an average score of 7.7 out of 10. Metacritic assigned a score of 75 out of 100, based on 53 critics. Gave the film an A grade from an A to F. A load of them are just good things. I'm trying to look at any here we are. Someone who works for the New York Daily News said, although it's called Captain America Civil War, the latest Marvel movie is actually a supersized Avengers picture, overstuffed to bursting. And sometimes during its 2.5 hour running time, it just goes bust. So that Civil War is compromised, but at least the thoughts to compromise. As an action film, it has its moments, but aside from the big opening sequence, the action scenes are a bit flat. So much of Captain America was just laborious working out of leftover dangling plot elements from the Winter Soldier. So a lot of people are just saying that it's not as good as the previous one, which I kind of agree with. It does feel a bit overstuffed, but I enjoyed it. Like I do prefer the other film. I really enjoy the thingy film. What's it called? Winter Soldier. I do prefer that film. Wonderful. It won a couple of awards. They weren't like big awards for this. Teen Choice Awards, it won 2 for Best Sci-Fi Fantasy Film and Best Actor in a Sci-Fi Fantasy Film for Chris Evans. And it looks like, for Teen Choice Awards, it seems that a lot of the awards were Iron Man or Captain America. So it was like the Who Are You Team Cap or Team America, because they were nominated for chemistry in a movie. Robert Downey Jr., Scarlett Johansson, Don Cheadle, Paul Bettany and Chadwick Boseman were nominated, who is Team Iron Man. And on the other side, you have Evans, Sebastian Stan, Anthony Mackie, Elizabeth Olsen and Jeremy Renner as Team Cap. So it's interesting that they have the... Yeah, quite interesting. Robert Downey Jr. won Favourite Action Movie Actor at the People's Choice Awards. Kids' Choice Awards, Favourite Butt Kicker, Chris Evans won. Saturn Awards, Tom Holland won Best Performance by a Younger Actor. Fair enough. According to Feige, Civil War is the conclusion of the Captain America trilogy that began with the first Avenger, which now makes sense considering he's dead. Falcon and the Winter Soldier was like a thing that came off of this because a lot of the characters from this turn up in that. And by April 2021, a 4th Captain America film was in development, which would revolve around Sam Wilson and serve as a continuation of the events of Falcon and the Soldier. Because right at the end, Falcon becomes the new Captain America because Thingy didn't do a very good job. What's his face? What's the name of White Russell's character? John Walker, that's it. That's my last name. What is it? I don't know. Yes, but, yes. I think that's it for this film. Yes, there's not that much. Yeah, Civil War's just kind of it's a good, like, action movie. Like, not... Plot-wise, it kind of falls apart a bit. In that... I mean, like the whole point is like, Iron Man. I mean, I'd say Captain America's motives make more sense than Iron Man's, because Iron Man Iron Man has always been reckless, and the only reason he changes his mind because of that one person, and it doesn't really make any sense. Captain America has more reason because of all of his previous movie proves that he needs this, and I know that Iron Man has the whole he created Ultron thing, but again, that was a joint effort, and presumably if Mark Ruffalo was going to be included in that, you'd have like a thing of Mark Ruffalo going, we made this, Tony, not you. It wasn't just you, it was me as well. I helped do this. So it's kind of like the sharing of the blame thing. As like maybe Mark Ruffalo's Hulk is trying to convince him to not sign the thing. But I don't know what side Bruce Banner would be on. He'd probably be on the side of signing, probably, and then you'd have him versus Ant-Man, but... Actually, no, because if they were going to have Red Hulk, Red Hulk could be on the government side, whereas Hulk could be on the other side, so Hulk could join Captain America. But what do you think, if you'd like to mention it in the comments, if you want to, I don't know. But yeah, it'd be useful to see your opinion. Yes. And again, yes, this was the first Marvel film that I kind of... This was where I became obsessed with Marvel, because I'd seen Guardians of the Galaxy before this, but I just watched that as a film. I didn't watch it because it was a Marvel film. I watched it because it was on, and apparently it was good. So I watched that unaware of anything else. Then I watched this, and I was like, right, I need to see everything. And then I saw everything. So, yeah. What was I going to do? Oh yeah, I need to say what I'm doing next time, don't I? Don't just want to end before I tell you what I'm doing next. Well, obviously, because it's how the alphabet works. Pardon me. The next film, Captain America: The First Avenger. Ooh. Which is a good film. Yeah. So, hope you enjoyed. And see you next time for this. Ooh. Farewell, everyone.